Let's be honest about what this is. The NFL just picked Bad Bunny, one of the most commercially successful artists on earth, and the man who's been loudly political about US immigration enforcement, to headline the Super Bowl halftime show in Santa Clara on February 8, 2026. The league, Apple Music, and Rock Nation announced it with corporate fanfare. That's the headline. The subtext: culture war served at midfield. Within hours of the announcement, a familiar cycle kicked in. The internet lit up, fans argued, and old quotes were dragged back into the spotlight. Fox News highlighted that Bad Bunny had previously voiced fears about ICE, immigration and customs enforcement, showing up around US concerts and scaring away Hispanic fans. Whether you agree with him or not, that's a political statement. And the NFL knew it would detonate on contact with America's football audience, which of course is part of the point. If you think I'm overstating the politics, listen to the reaction machine. Media hosts frame the pick as a cultural provocation, some going so far as to call it a middle finger to conservatives. That's not me paraphrasing lightly. It's how this debate is being sold to you right now across cable and social media. So why would the NFL do it? Because controversy is a business model. It pulls attention, it manufactures sides, it keeps you watching even when you say you won't. And the league has data that says you will. Let's pause on the facts. The NFL press release confirms Bad Bunny as the official headliner for Super Bowl at Levi's Stadium. It's not a rumor. This is booked, branded, and scheduled for February 2026 on NBC. So when you hear maybe they'll switch, that's not how these deals work. They're locked in months, sometimes a year ahead. The messaging is coordinated across the league, Apple and Rock Nation. This is a strategic choice, not a last-minute stunt. Now to the backlash. The second the selection hit, boycott narratives started bubbling. Headlines in overseas outlets chronicled boycotting Bad Bunny trending among MAGA-aligned social media users. Is that representative of the entire fan base? Of course not. Is it real? Yes, and it adds fuel to the NFL's attention engine. Every angry post is free marketing. Every call to boycott is guaranteed that the halftime segment will be clipped, memed, and replayed 100 million times by Monday morning. And it's not just pundit class versus performers. Ordinary fans are hashing this out in real time. Scroll Reddit's NFL and music threads and you'll see the split laid bare. People arguing about authenticity, pre-recorded tracks, whether a Spanish language set fits the moment, and what it means to book an artist who has publicly taken a position on immigration enforcement. It's unfiltered and it's useful because it shows you what the league is betting on. Not unity, but virality. Conflict equals clicks, clicks equal culture dominance. Here's the core argument you'll hear from defenders of the pick. Bad Bunny is a global star and the Super Bowl is a global stage. The US is a multilingual country with a rapidly growing Latino population and halftime should reflect that reality. This is the Big Ten pitch. Football for everyone, music for everyone, politics optional. You saw that argument laid out explicitly in coverage framing his halftime as a statement of identity and redefinition of the American dream. Success in Spanish on America's largest stage. That's not subtle, it's intentional. Now the other side. Critics say the NFL is less about entertainment and more about lecturing. Another chapter in the years-long transformation of sports from neutral civic ritual into a delivery system for cultural messaging. They point to the ICE comments, again resurfaced the minute this was announced, and ask, why is the NFL elevating someone who openly discouraged US shows over immigration enforcement concerns, then rewarding him with the ultimate US gig? If you think halftime should be a political spectacle, that's a fair question. But here's the trick. The NFL has insulated itself. First, the ratings. Year after year, despite boycotts, controversies, and open contempt between factions of the audience, the Super Bowl remains the most watched event in America. Second, the dispersion. Even if some fans mute the TV, the clips dominate Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, especially when the artist is algorithm proof, which Bad Bunny is. Third, the partnership. Since 2019, the Roc Nation relationship gives the league cultural cover. If you criticize the pick, you're not just booing the NFL. You're booing a taste-making apparatus built expressly to diversify halftime. Some outlets have spelled out that mission as the rationale behind this selection. That's the Shield. What about this is an American claim? Cable segments are already making that case, sometimes sloppily, including the bizarre accusation that Bad Bunny, who's Puerto Rican and thus an American citizen, is somehow an immigrant affront. That's not an argument. That's ignorance. If you want to debate the ICE rhetoric, fine, but let's keep the facts straight while we do it. Otherwise, you're not advocating for patriotism, you're helping the marketing plan by turning a straightforward citizenship reality into a fake controversy. There's another angle, leverage. Booking Bad Bunny's leverage a 9-figure social footprint into the NFL's media pipeline. His fans who don't care about football will still show up for the halftime feed. People who despise the choice will rage watch and doom scroll. Neutral watchers will tune in because now there is a question. Will he make a statement? Will there be a line about ICE? Will there be a flag? A message? The possibility of controversy becomes the product itself. That's how you program a monoculture event in 2026. You pre-install anticipation, outrage in a political news hook. If you want to know how far the narrative is already moving, look at the meta conversation. Some commentators are calling the pick an explicit political shot. Others are packaging it as resistance made palatable to middle America through a football broadcast. Both sides, ironically, need each other. The outrage validates the resistance frame. The resistance frame guarantees fresh outrage. You are the content and the draw and the demographic metric that will be sold to advertisers on Monday. Meanwhile, on the fan forums, people are asking specific, practical questions. Will the show be fully live or partially pre-recorded? Does a Spanish dominant set land with a domestic TV audience that skews older? Will there be a guest artists to bridge styles? Those aren't political questions. They're production questions, but the politics thins the answers. If the NFL leans into bilingual set with a high-gloss stadium build and crystal clear audio, most casual viewers will call it a win. If they add a rock or country co-headliner for balance, critics will claim the league panicked. If they don't, critics will claim the league lectured. In 2026, there is no neutral choice, only calculated trade-offs. And here's where this really lands. The halftime show used to be the national fireplace. You don't have to like the act, but you could trust the moment. It wasn't trying to defeat you. It was trying to entertain you. Today, the selection process is openly ideological. When the league partners with a cultural gatekeeper to diversify the stage, that's an ideological choice. When media personalities paint the pick as a weapon against their political opponents, that's an ideological choice. And when fans treat halftime like a referendum on the country, that's an ideological choice. The result is predictable. More heat than light. So what should you want? You should want the truth. The truth is that Bad Bunny is a massive talent, a genuine star, and yes, a political figure by virtue of the positions he's taken and the symbolism assigned to him. The truth is that the NFL isn't stumbling into this. It's engineering a narrative that will dominate your feeds for a week and sell ads for a year. The truth is that labeling every cultural moment a partisan victory or defeat makes you easier to program. The less you insist on nuance, the more predictable your behavior becomes to the people cashing the checks. One final point to clarify. The announcement is official. The date is set. The arguments are already scripted. Entertainment outlets have published the basics. The league has published the release. The outreach ecosystem has found its angle. Everything else between now and kickoff is theater. Auditions for who gets to claim the moral victory after a 13-minute performance. If you're going to watch with clear eyes, if you're going to criticize, criticize accurately. If you're going to celebrate, celebrate honestly, without pretending the NFL suddenly discovered multicultural America last night. Because it didn't. It discovered that conflict is the most reliable product in American media. And it intends to sell you a lot of it. Between now and February, expect 3 waves. First, the guest list drip, leaks about surprise collaborators to segment the audience and test reception. Second, the controversy calendar, repackaged old quotes, misstatements about citizenship, and clipped interviews designed to boost engagement. Third, the production preview, set design leaks, alleged song lists, and debates about whether it's live, tracked, or both. You will be told exactly what to think about each phase. You don't have to comply. Just remember, when both sides are yelling, someone is counting money. Guaranteed. That's the halftime story you're not supposed to see. Not left versus right, but platform versus audience. The platform sets the frame, the audience supplies the outreach. And the numbers go up. If you want to change that, stop being predictable. Demand entertainment that does not treat you like a checkbox on a demographic slide. Or don't, and watch the show for what it is. A 13-minute referendum on which team of marketers understands America better this week. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.